Hi guys, here we are again with another video. This time we'll be comparing the TCG ban list to the OCG one and seeing what the major differences are. Recently in the OCG there's been a big change in the meta. It's no longer just Pedro and Pepe ruling the tops. There's also the appearance of obviously the new Blue Eyes cards, which the TCG will be getting very soon. As well as speed droids, Equiploff, even Phantom Knights and Necros are even there, to be honest. There's even lower tier decks such as DD, which are moving up, all thanks to the new ban list in the OCG. Of course, now that we've finally received our long-awaited ban list in the TCG, we can finally draw up a comparison between the two lists, the TCG and the OCG one, and see, I guess, where we'll be in a couple weeks down the line when the meta is stabilized a little bit, just as the OCG one is currently doing. So this list we'll be looking at today is a combined list of both the OCG and TCG list, comparing the categorizations of each card between the two lists, i.e. If a card is forbidden in the TCG, how does it compare in the OCG and vice versa. In this list, every card has been color coordinated to highlight the differences between the two ban lists. When we look down the list, there's quite a few similarities between the two lists. However, it's quite obvious why certain decks are reappearing in the OCG. Decks such as Equiploff and Necros, for example, topping at their locals. But what has happened to Dante and where is he in the OCG? The meta in the OCG is clearly free-flowing and allowing for more diversity within their meta in comparison with the TCG. By simply scrolling down this list, you can clearly see why. Clear example of this is Equiploff's. Equiploff Tower being unlimited in the OCG, whereas TCG forbidden, unusable, one of their most powerfulest cards, as well as having Scout limited in the TCG, yet being semi-limited in the OCG, obviously restricting their play within the TCG. Why would people run Equiploff when they can run something like Pedra, Pepe, a much more powerful, quicker pendulums? This new TCG ban list just is not catered for Equiploff players. They cannot run their most powerfulest card in their deck, something which will help them overcome any sort of obstacle, whether that be Cosmo, Monarchs, or even Dante. Moving further down the list, the next major difference would be for Necros players. The OCG again allowing cards forbidden in the TCG to be used, such as the Jin Lock itself and Shurit. Both cards being unnecessary within the Necros deck itself in order to allow them to even have a chance in this new meta. Jinlock obviously devastating, stopping everything such as Pendulum Summon, Fusion, Synchroing, anything from the extra deck basically. It's crazy how the OCG has it unlimited, but yet the TCG has it forbidden. Without the Jinlock, how do Necros players actually overcome this new meta of continuous special summoning turn after turn? Do they even have a chance? I'm really not sure they do in the TCG. You could argue that decks like Necros and Spellbook could stand a chance simply by increasing their, I guess, countermeasures, cards which can disrupt the opponent's plays, such as Solemn Strikes, Torrents, Skill Drains, solar warnings, all of those board clearing cards. However, do they really have a chance in the TCG? I guess when you compare the two, look further down the list, the limited items on the TCG. TCG limited, bottomless trapple, compulse, macrocosmos, skill drain, soul drain, torrent, vanity's emptiness. Excluding vanity's emptiness, everything else that I've said so far in that limited section is unlimited in the OCG. You could have 3 torrents, 3 skill drains, 3 macrocosmos. All cards which can turn the tide in the game. All cards which can dissemble the opponent's strategy and playstyles. Of course, the TCG still have cards like Regikai, which the OCG does not have access to. However, what they do have is Harpy's Fur Duster to clear the back row of your opponent, and Extra Night Unlimited. All of these board clearing cards allowing older decks still to be able to compete in this new meta. So what do TCG players have that OCG players don't have access to? I guess this is where we come down to Dante and the Burning Abyss cards. Even though they've only recently been released in the OCG, they're already limited. Dante limited to 1, along with his fellow Abyss dwellers, as well as Armageddon Knight, a supportive card for both Dante and Shadow's limited. Whereas in the TCG, Dante still unlimited after 2 years. 2 years since the first set of the Burning Abyss cards being released, Dante is still virtually untouched, as the deck is still almost playable to 100% capacity. Well, the TCG list, after waiting so long, finally being released, and what was touched? Just the Pepes, the Pendulums, the Draco Slayer engine touched. What would that mean for the meta? What do we have? What will we run? To be honest, the meta was going to stay the same. There's still going to be Monarchs on top, Cosmo on top. Even Dante has a chance. What's going on with Pendulums? Pendulums, however, have been slowed down extremely, of course, with the limitations on Wavering Eyes being forbidden, Ignista, the Draco engine itself being hit down, the Draco face-off almost gone, Wisdom Eye limited to 1, all similar, well, all basically the same as the OCG BANLIST itself, excluding, I believe it's Wavering Eyes at 1 in the OCG. TCG players looking at this list already know there's not going to be a major change in the meta at all. Sure, Pendulums are less of a threat now, but there's still the same decks which are going to be on top. I'm talking about Monarchs, Cosmo, and even Dante. Of course, this doesn't include the new set that's going to be released in a month's time, a showcase in the new Blue Eyes White Dragon cards. I know a lot of you TCG players have been waiting for this, to have something that the OCG players have had for a while now. I'm very excited to see that the older generational cards are finally getting the support that they need. I'm talking about, of course, the Blue Eyes White Dragon in this set, and the Dark Magician in the next. It's going to be some very exciting stuff, especially to the run-up to the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie, which will be released sometime this year in OCG, and hopefully before the end of the year in TCG. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This was Zex. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Just let me know down below what you think of this list, and see you next time.